So this is the old abandoned quarry that was turned into the bomb store.
Hello everyone and welcome to ALW Research Team. Today we're going to Llanberis bomb store dating back to 1939. It was a former quarry that closed in 1930 and then the War Ministry took it over in 1939 to build one of the biggest bomb stores in Wales. There was a major collapse in 1942 where the roof was not strong enough and it caused the Air Ministry to lose 14% of their entire ordnance at that time. It is at Llanberis, which we are entering now. You can actually see how they haven't bonded the roof together, where it's failed and collapsed. There's no steels going through from the centre top of the screen, the arch is there, there's no steelwork coming out, all the floor below, to the sections that were involved in the collapse. So it's quite obvious why it did cave in quite quickly as well. There was a railway main line that came into this area, so we're going to look for the remains of that and document it as we go. I think that is the area where the railway was. See the channel in the ground, viewers. That'll be for a single line standard gauge railway, which was incidentally already here from the days of this being a quarry.
So this is the section that collapsed. The bit that's intact further at the back end there, that's where we're going to go into. It's a bit of a climb down. We've got this screedy gravelly bit to go down, and I don't think the camera shows how steep it is, but it's more slippery. It's downhill all the way.
I think they're left.
These areas were numbered linearly, they were lettered alphabetically from that corner, starting with A along here, and then it went on to the first floor, which is there, and that end wall here on the first floor was S, and then the main line was in about C, I think it was. It went A, B, C where the railway line was, I believe, and then across again to S. And this is the collapsed area that's been fully cleared. There's remains here of the smaller gauge railway that was used for carts carrying the ordnance and heavy items down here in the main area before we go into the tunnels. The tunnels are that way. This is a large area that's built into the hill. There's a small outbuilding here that's got quite a modern door on it, oddly, so someone's been looking after this place. Go inside, I can smell recent smoke smells. Head off this way into this tunnel section. We can see this used to have rails within it going off this way into quite a large tunnel. We'll come back with the guys to check this out. Is that going to a dead end? Let's get the beam torch out. One moment, viewers. Yeah, that's the dead end tunnel there. That would have gone off under the road into town, and that's been blocked off and backfilled. That's a shame. We'll get a bit closer to give you a better view of that. Using an Olight Marauder Mini today, not sponsored, it's just simply a good torch. So this has been backfilled with slate, big lumps of slate, and the tunnel carries on that way. I wonder how far it goes. I've got this map here from Subterranea Britannica, and it shows the tunnel there going off quite a long way, and it goes off the bottom of the screen there. That's from Subterraneca Britannia, which I can't say properly at the minute. It's quite cold. And it's about 4 degrees outside, and it's been snowing. That's this tunnel. We're going to catch up with the other guys and continue this explore.
Yeah, so they just cleared it all out and stuck a camo net over the top and carried on using the other bit.
So I've got the main area there going into the hill, and then this way was part of the main railway, the standard gauge railway that came along, and you can see the edge of the platform there, the metalled edges there. It's been backfilled somewhat with slate and rubble, but we'll head off down here on this railway tunnel explore. It's quite interesting that it's been rendered with concrete. It's got a concrete render on there. Not seen a railway tunnel like that before. And it's got a square section here, square sectional, and then when we come to the road that's above, it goes to a round cross section. It's arced at the top, it's got a nice arch on it. We'll walk up to the gate and have a look through the edge of the gate to see what's there. I checked out the Google post on this, and that graffiti is the same. So we'll have a look through here and see where the railway used to go. The gate looks firmly padlocked. It is indeed. Yeah, there's a padlock on there. 4 combination squire. And that goes off that way to the outside. No railway track present, all removed on this quite unique railway. Kind of reminds me of something that wouldn't be in this country, more a European style railway tunnel, but a railway tunnel all the same. Right then, back through the tunnel, we'll catch up with the other guys. I'm here with Ben, Paul and Dave today to walk up the platform on this abandoned railway, and we're greeted with Ben, King of Winter. Can you take us on a bit of a tour, Ben?
Of course.
Thank you. So this is the railway platform. We're on one of the platform edges. I believe the track has been lifted. We didn't see any track further back there in the tunnel, and the track bed is been reclaimed by nature. So we're in the central area now, and we're stood on, I shall consult my mobile telephone, and we're actually in C. We're stood on section C at the minute. So there was A and B, railway, then C, and we're in C. So which way now, Ben?
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead. So we've got 2 lifts up ahead, and I believe there's another tunnel, is that right, Ben?
Yeah, down the back, we'll climb through the door though.
Yeah, we'll climb through the door and check that out. So keep watching, viewers.
So here we are at the end of the platform area. That's thoughtful of them. There's a nice set of steps at the end in case anybody fell in. They could walk to the end and climb out easily. There's a little path now that goes all the way around to the other side. Let's see what we've got over here. This is where the other steps were to the raised area. I think this would have been like offices where they did admin and things like that, because of course everything would have had to be booked in and out and accounted for. And there's another area with stairs and a raised area. So this doesn't look as long as the next door one. So it looks like there's some more rooms or something at the other side of this wall. As you can see, it's much longer. Oh, but there doesn't look to be a doorway into that section, so must just be shorter due to the nature of the quarry it was built into.
There is still some railing situ down in there, but you can't really see it under all the crap that's accumulated over the years.
Yeah, it's a bit moist in there, but we can see where someone's made a railway stop. So that says to me that there was still railway cars coming into here and they blocked this area off. So that part was still connected after this part had been disconnected. So the main way out to the main line is that way, where we've just explored, viewers. Looking this way, we can indeed see the rail lines in there. Can you? I'll just grab this torch. Sorry about the brightness, I can't see now either. We can see the track there. I'll just put this on too. The rail lines are in there, viewers. Can you see that? So they're still in situ, and it's a standard gauge mainline railway. Large timbers there. Could do with chopping those up and putting them in Vicky's blast furnace if you're watching, Vicky. We've got some more platform edges here. Some bricked up areas. Can we just get around to the bricked up areas, Ben? Or are they sealed? We can still get round to them. So we're now in, so I believe this is section C we're walking along. You can see above where there's been an electrical installation for lighting, and I would very much presume that it was explosion proof type lighting. And the railway line stops there, so we can get across to these areas, which we'll check out soon. Which way first, Ben?
I would say go left, get to the lifts.
Get to the lifts. So in section, so this must be section C, where the lifts are, and these take us to all the different levels. And then, oh wow, there's a lift there as well. So these are the lifts that I could see. We'll check out the lift motor room. As you can see, the Baker-like fittings are still in situ here, and they would have had a big glass lamp holder that sealed them in to make them intrinsically safe. Big glass bowl will have gone on top, and it would have been held in place by two big brass wing nuts, which you can see the fixings for there on the E27 lamp holder. So here is a lift motor room. The electrical motor's been removed, and this is the worm gear. The gearbox has been smashed and stripped down, but that is the lift motor area there. Then we've got the cables there. Back of the lift motor area here, we'll see if we can see. This has been bricked up, so this would have been open, and then the personnel could have got in the lift there. So that is the bottom of the lift. There's a Star Wars Annual 2016 there. So that's the bottom, so this lift only went up. And the lift car is above us there, look, viewers. And the counterweight is at the bottom. So the counterweight weighs more than the car, because the idea is that you have a certain amount of load in the car and then it's balanced. So when it's empty, the counterweight weighs more than the car, so the counterweight tends to be at the bottom until the wire snaps. And if it doesn't have Otis locking gear, the car will come down to the bottom. But that probably has got locking gear, I would imagine. Electrics there. Moving off this way, we'll catch up with Ben, and he'll take us on a little tour. Oh wow! So that is, we are in section C, and that is section C6, and that is markings from when this was in use. So I've got a red dot there, so that's the intersector. So that's between C6 and C7, and we're now in section C7. So the sectional quadrants are correct on the Subterranea Britannica drawing. That's a very, very good website. Link for that in the description box. Go check them out, give them some traffic, so that helps pay for their website, which I believe is owned and run by Nick Catford, who is ex-Radio Caroline.
There's a leg.
There's a leg. It's not a real leg, it's fiberglass. And there is a flare that someone's thrown in there, and that's the base of another flare. So someone's been messing about with incendiaries. There's a Sharpie, lots of other detritus metalwork. That looks like galv tubing where someone's stripped the cabling out and they've just chucked the galv tubing in there. Counterweight again, so we'll see a lift car above us. You can actually see the locking gear there, that is engaged on there. And if the wire snaps, that cam there will spin round and jam against that post and then lock the car in place to stop it collapsing if the wires snap. So I presume the lift motor's been removed and the gearbox stripped of all its phosphor bronze bearings, etc. Yeah, motor's gone. So Ben's over here. Let's carry on with Ben. Over to you, sir.
We can go upstairs and go inside that lift car.
Yeah, let's do that.
Straight
Go
ahead.
check out the lift car. You can see a lot of electrical cables there as we pass row C10, section C10. The electrical cables, there's 3 lots of it. And there's galv tubing running through that one there. So they've got wooden spacers to stop any sparks, to keep this place intrinsically safe. Yes, Dave?
The air upstairs is a bit stale.
Is it?
Yeah.
So we've got to be careful upstairs.
Yeah, don't spend so long up there. You can feel your chest tightening as you go.
So the oxygen's heavier than other...
There's probably less ventilation up there, and with the steel work rusting, it's heating up the oxygen.
Right, okay, shall I put my gas monitor on then?
All right.
Yeah, I'll put my gas monitor on. One moment, viewers.
It's interesting to see how depleted it is.
Yes.
So you can certainly, the further you get, the worse it is. Worserist.
More worse?
More worserist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. This is doing its preheat, so I'll clip that to the front of my jacket. We'll go up there and we'll check out what we can check out. As we are in section C11. And that's preheating. Sorry, Ben, is that right? Right, we're gonna set off upstairs now to check out that area. Dave says the air's a bit stale, so we're going to go careful as we go upstairs. Now, I've got a gas monitor, but it's gone faulty, unfortunately. Ooh. You know, my legs are going tired already. Yeah, I can smell it straight away. And I know everyone in the comments have been like, you can't smell methane. But I can. I can taste the air's not clean. But there is an air vent up there. There is a sign of light. You can see there, look, viewers. But it's this steel here. The steel oxidises and it reduces the oxygen content in the air. So if you're ever in a place like this, be aware of the steel. So that's Hull side, and that's British made. Ben's taking some photos. We'll check out these lift cars. I'm not going to go in it. My best bitch. Okay. That's a lift car there. We've got another circle there dating back to the war years. And we're now in section M. Section M there. Got the centre section there, the roundel. section M. And it looks like they'd started bricking this place up. They'd started bricking all the entrances up quite well. That's pretty decent brickwork, to be fair. They've done all the courses nice. That is nice brickying. They've even shaped it at the top. They've used bricks and not blocks, so someone with a good budget and a lot of time has done that. Section M6, we'll check out this lift. What's also not helped is people have burnt litter, and that's affected the air quality. Check out this lift car. Been another small fire there. In this lift car here, that's quite a modern Duracell battery there in the centre of the screen now. Let's go around here. So there'll be a void here where the lift motor room was on the lower section. You only need one lift motor room per lift. There's been a luminaire attached there. Someone's actually held a luminaire up there, possibly for a party or a rave or something like that. It's been held here. Hence all the alcohol cans that are discarded. It looks like there's been a party and then someone started a fire whilst they're all in here, burning the oxygen that they're trying to breathe. You can see the shuttered concrete arch above, and you can see the actual nail heads that were in the timber construction. The timber holding the concrete in place as it was poured, and then the timber was removed afterwards once the concrete had gone hard. But as you can see here, they've done it in sections and not put steelwork in it, so there's no reinforced bars in this. Hence why the other areas collapsed back in 1942 outside. Can't see any steelwork in that. It's just been bonded section concrete, which you can't really do because, well, it collapses. Where are you, Ben? There's Ben. So we're going into section November now. So November 8 section. We can see where these big openings, again, have been bricked up there. And then for whatever reason, these ones, the arches have been removed. We've got Paul there taking a photo, so I'm standing still. But someone's built quite a nice brick archway in here. I wonder if this has been used by a college or a bricklaying teaching company, because I don't know who else would have the time and the money to brick something up so nicely. I wonder if that's been done by a college or a tutor group to teach people how to brick things up, because that is pretty nice. What do you think, Ben?
It's lovely, yeah.
And there's two there, totally bricked up, but there's no actual benefit to bricking it up like that. Now, oddly, now that's interesting. So the Second World War, electrics is on top of the brickwork. So this might actually be original. That's really odd. That really is odd. So that's original. They've put the brickwork in to support the concrete arch. I wonder if that was after the cracking was appearing. And they've put that into calc. They've calced it up and thought we need to reinforce this bit. And they've put the brick arches in because that is quite substantial. You can see there where the draftsman has marked it all out. Oh, the cracking's there, look. It's been cracking. You see that, viewers? All the cracking and the surveyor's markings there. And they've arched it. And they've put brick arch in, there's the cracking. Is that showing up on the camera? 15th of the 4th. I wish they'd put the year. 23rd of the 4th. So 23rd of April. I bet that's from 1942, because that's been done before the electrics were put in, and that's been bricked in. See there where it's been bricked up? Wow. So that's from the 1940s, that brickwork. And so is this one. Let's see if we can see any cracking. Can't see any cracking, but I can see the marks where they've, so that brick line there goes up to that. H, 15th of the 4th, yes, there's some architect's marks there where they've surveyed it and thought, yeah, this is cracking, we need to brick this up. 15th of the 4th, yeah, there's some cracking there, look. Well, the concrete's been cracking and they've marked it. B. Wow. So that's from the Second World War. And you can see there where the electrics have been bonded into it. So they've had to reinforce it. Is that the same, Ben?
Yeah, there's some original plug sockets in the M1.
There's original what, sorry?
Plug sockets.
Plug sockets?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So they've constructed this quickly and then realised that it's not strong enough. And they've added the brick arches. So we're now in section Quebec 10. Quebec 9. Where are the plug sockets?
In Sierra.
Sierra. So the end section. So section Sierra is this way. Look behind you. Nothing there. Where are the sockets, Ben? Oh yeah. Wow, so these are original install. That's a 110 socket outlet and it's on a little isolated transformer. Cool. So they would have plugged equipment into those. That dates back to the Second World War, that type of outlet. That's really cool. So in section Sierra 9, I can feel the air is pretty nasty in this part. So we won't stay here too long. Got another roundel there. As we leave section Sierra, this is the final section in this part. So see here, they've took the shoes off and they've been putting the feet on the walls. Why would they do that? Is it like some sort of weird graffiti? Or have they been running up the wall? Not for me, but there's a bird of prey there. Some severely good artwork, possibly not a Banksy, but good all the same. So go back into section Romeo section. Now on aircraft carriers, Romeo section was there was a senior rates mess down there, a Romeo party. Used to go down there and have a beer. That's the Invincible class aircraft carriers that I'm referring to. Some naff graffiti. Well, there is a rabbit and a smiley face, to be honest. So, don't be afraid of the dark. Only the dark inside your mind. Well, I ain't got any dark inside of my mind, so I've got nothing to be afraid of. Only the amount of money that Ben spends on torches. How many torches do you own, Ben, from Olight? Another socket outlet there. We'll actually see the isolating transformer in this one. There we are, look. So these are actually 230 volts. 230 volts in, and then you could tap it on the outlet to set the outlet tapping voltage that you wanted on that isolating transformer. Not the all-seeing eye there. That's some interesting graffiti from Attack, and that's from 2023. Quite like the colours. I'm just going to have a look this way, Ben.
Okay.
So we're into section Lima, L10. Now, when I mentioned earlier about the brickwork, and somebody's taken a lot of time to brick up the front sections, I wonder if that's from the Second World War when it collapsed. That's been concreted, so that's probably original. That's interesting how that section's different. So this part is presumably over the railway tunnel. Now, 11th of Feb 42, they've put little concrete breakers in there, look. So the 11th of February 42, they've known that was after the event. They've put those little crack arresters in, and if those crack arresters break, they know it's getting worse. So they've put those in. They even put a piece of perspex across there, look, and that's broken. But that might have just been vandalism. So on the 11th of Feb 1942, those areas were put in and marked up. That's so cool. Making my way back towards Ben now. So viewers, we've just taken some photographs of the cracks there. I've put those on my Instagram channel. Please head over there and check that out. ALW Research Team on Instagram, give me a follow. That's got the up-to-date areas of where we're exploring, because we film in advance, and what you see on YouTube may have been shot several weeks earlier. So you get the up-to-date view on Instagram. As we go past Surveyor's Point J there, and we now know that's the 14th of April 1942. So they've started at the front, strengthening it, and they've come along here and they've added these strengthening archways here to try and retain this building, and it's worked. So credit to those bricklayers and surveyors from 1942. Very interesting to see that. Very interesting indeed. I wasn't expecting that.
No, I've not noticed that before either.
I only started reading about this place yesterday when you mentioned it was nearby. I've seen loads of videos on it, but I've only started reading about it to explore it and research it myself in the last 48 hours. So we can see some more electrical materials there from back in the day. And should we head back downstairs, Ben?
Yeah, have you seen those?
Oh, wow. So these viewers look like, so SAB, so this is from the 40s, where they've been allocating stock and they've written it on the wall. Yeah, DC, DDE, D. So these are where they've been putting the ordnance. So these are the areas, like at the minute we're in section Mike, so M9 here they've put D, section D they've put, so in D1 they've put 143 of something, and then they've been doing a stock check and there's like 24 odd ODD. And then here we've got T30. So in Mike, and then it's all like 54D 178 54, and then they've counted how many bombs they've got. There's 1,660 up here. 24th of April 1940 something. Is that a 5?
I think it's a 5, yeah.
1945. So on the 26th of April 45, they've written that up there. And then they've done some noughts and crosses and noughts one. That is from 1945 and possibly before. Very interesting to see that. Thank you, Ben.
No worries.
Wow. So that was M9 section and the graffiti on the wall there. The surveyor's marks and the roundels in Llanberis bomb store.
Exploring Dave. Going into the abyss.
Stuck.
Say bye, Dave.
You're now going to go on an adventure with Exploring Dave into the tunnel that leads to the Quarry pit. This dates back to the quarrying days.
Don't stand it up.
Right. See you next week. I've got the van keys. So, I guess this was part of the old quarry.
Yeah, this was the old line at the
Right,
that shelter there was the old World War II bomb.
right. And this would have been narrow gauge on here. I
Yeah.
take it.
This did indeed feature a narrow gauge railway.
Wow. Do you know when this was built?
No, I don't. I wish I did. I know that bit was built for World War II, I believe, just to
Yeah.
store bombs
Around about 1938 or something like that. Yeah.
and little old war.
All right, a little laddie going off to the side. Oh, right, secret garden. Plenty of water coming down. I should imagine that this would get flooded if you had a real deluge out there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no! I think you need Wellingtons.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that flooded.
It is flooded. Right,
Oh yeah, that's a swimming pool.
it is. You can take your socks and shoes off and have a paddle.
Yeah, that's a bit. Maybe next time we come, Joy, we'll try.
We'll have to come in summer next time.
Oh yeah, summer's gorgeous.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, so I take it that's just a part of a quarry out there and with big walls around it.
and that bit, yeah, it's you can't. This is the only way to get to that bit. Really.
Right.
There's no other path.
Wow.
So it's just like a little hidden cove.
Yeah. And this looks like it would have been some sort of elevator.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah. Wow.
Quite cool though, isn't it?
It is cool. Yeah, brilliant.
Sorry that it's flooded, like it would have been.
That's all right. No, at least I can say I've been there and done that. Whereas if you go somewhere and you don't do it, there's always that in the back of your mind, isn't there? Wish you had done.
It'll help you get through that hole.
Oh, yeah, that's the worstest bit.
Bring an animal around the next time, make it bigger.
Well, I mean, really, when they cut that hole in, if they'd have done it lower down, it would have been far much easier, wouldn't it?
Probably would.
To go to all that effort and put it in the wrong place.
Oh, have you seen that graffiti out there? There's some in here. It's the one like the man like this. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
It's all over North Wales.
Oh, is it?
You can go to the brickworks in,
Right.
and you'll see both of them. You can go to all the way to like Warrington.
Right.
You can just find it everywhere.
Very good.
No one knows who this is. Right?
No. Yeah. Nobody knows, eh? The man of mystery. Unfortunately, at the end of this tunnel it's flooded and you can't get out into the quarry park.
Well, you used to be able to.
Yeah, it's flooded because of the time of year. If we came in the summer you wouldn't be able to. Unless you want to take your shoes and socks off and have a paddle. So, now the next bit is getting out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see this.
So, it's flooded. You get to the end of the tunnel and then there's like a lift shaft that goes up, and then just beyond there it's flooded that deep you wouldn't be able to get through.
And this says, warning, beware of loco. So do we think there used to be a small railway that went through?
There's railway in there. You can see where the rails were on concrete sleepers. There's the bolts, what the shoes held the shoes down, what the rails sat in, but that's all gone.
So do you think that's from the quarry days?
Quarry.
Existing quarry, and they've just left it in there because why not?
Because it were there.
And then, do you think that door dates back to the Second World War, or do you think that's been? It's just to block it off, isn't it? So, but here there used to be hinges. Look, there used to be a door, and that's been removed, and then this has been added after. Do you think this steel's newer than newer than the Second World War? So there was doors, and then when the Fun Sponge police have been, they've blocked it off. Cheers for all walking away in that part of the segment.
It's alright.
Douchebags. Rob, across that.
I can if you like.
Go on then. This is Ben's tightroping skills. Yes. Well done, Ben. Ta-da! Then behind Ben we've got some more bricked up areas from the 1942 collapse. So viewers, that was Llanberis Bomb Store. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel there if you haven't already, and watch this video next. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.
And it's bye from me.
Definitely bye from me. And it's bye from Llanberis. Back to you, Andy.